So, have you ever had a 90-day plan where you're all pumped up, maybe for the new year this year, and you thought, I am on it, I am on it, I'm going to slay. And then suddenly life sends a big wave and crashes all of your plans against the rocks. This year, that happened to me. I was ready to rock, and then I got sick. The tough part of this wasn't the physical stuff. The tough part was the work of self. I was so overwhelmed by not being able to be what I wanted to be for other people. I wanted to show up for my team. I couldn't. I had post COVID pneumonia, and what I could do was follow doctor's orders and be quiet. So today I'm going to talk about when physical health slows you down, what does that mean for the work, for the journey, and for growing into the life that we're all seeking, or your life specifically. Today, I want to talk to you as another empath about this challenge of what do you do when your health takes a hit and you want to keep on giving your energy to other people to get the rewards that we empaths all get from that. And your body says, because I'm going through it now and I'm learning some lessons that I'd like to share because I still have some empath in me, but also because these lessons are so profound. I want to move along with my own journey and see if we can hold hands while you're on yours. Here are 3 tips for you when your body is saying no, that I've just had a refresher course in, and I'm hoping will help you next time you get a health bomb. The first one is prioritizing self-care over perfection. If you're an empath, you know that you get kind of hung up on, I have to do this perfectly, and I have to do this perfectly right now. Like despairing over dishes in the sink or a deadline at work, over feeling like you can't possibly tell a colleague that you need a couple of more days. The thing is that self-care is the only way you're going to get back up to speed, that we're going to get back up to speed, to shoot for, I'm not going to say perfection again because I don't think that's ever the goal, to shoot for achievement. I remember this last bump. I was talking to my doctor and kind of pressing her on, when can I go outside? When can I do this and this and this? I wanted like a commitment from her that I could be the Granny Rana that it was my intention to be, the Granny Rana that was grinding out shorts every day as soon as possible. The goal was to get her to give me permission to go on this road of go, 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 go. And she said very lovingly, you're sick. You're sick. No. And what's funny about that, to me anyway, is that I needed somebody to give me permission to take a step back. I needed someone to give me permission to say, absolute self-care is being in bed past 7:30 in the morning. Absolute self-care is saying, you know what? It may be tomorrow before I can get that project moving again. That's okay. That's my first tip for you. The second tip for when your body isn't willing to do what you want it to do is to adjust your timeline, but not your dreams. I can roll into, and I bet you can roll into, oh my gosh, I'm sick. And then go into, but if I don't get done all the things I would have gotten done if I were well, then I'm never going to make it. So I have dreams of being able to influence a lot of people, being able to serve a lot of people, being able to deliver a lot of content that will be helpful. And as soon as I was down, I started to use my dreams as a stick to beat myself up. And it started a little round of negative self-communication, like, oh, Granny Rana, so this was going to be the year you were going to get all these things done. And look at you, you're sick, you're old, it's never going to happen. You're lazy, you're bad, whatever your communications with yourself are that are based on some old wounds from when you were tiny, those get triggered for all of us. And I had a couple of days where I thought, it is just not going to happen. I am not going to be able to go for my dreams. I am too old. I am too sick. I can't put another foot in front of the other. And then what I realized was, dream's still there. The dream will always be there. It's just that the path is going to be a little different. And the path to get to the dream when there's a health challenge can, in fact, become richer and more beautiful. During this time that my body has not been wanting to do a lot of physical stuff, I have been open to more work on myself, work on my soul, work on my heart. And it's been kind of like a spectacular journaling time. You know what it's like when you've been asleep and you're waking up and you're not quite in this world and you're not quite in that world. You're in that sort of hazy, beautiful place. And that's where a lot of times other parts of yourself are communicating with you about what's possible and what's right for you and where your goals can be. For me, it turned out that when I gave into letting my body rest, that part of myself was much more available to me. It was like being in this floaty place where there was more information available that I could write in my journal or that I could draw on a drawing pad that will be the basis of material that I can then form and shape. When you take a little health blow, whether or not it's being on your moon once a month and having bad cramps or, having COVID or having whatever you have, is to connect and to communicate. Like a lot of empaths, I have spent a lot of my life stuck in the rut of taking care always of other people, telling them that I'm fine. If they ask me how I am, I will say, I'm great, how are you? It's always about giving them energy. The lesson I'm learning now is that it is a gift for them, for the people who truly love me and are my companions on this journey, for me to connect with them and tell them the truth. And so what that means is not a long litany of, oh, my toe hurts, and when I blow my nose, it's disgusting, and, nobody wants all the details. But to share with them that, not so good. I am not so good. And then just being with them in that. It's been remarkable this time because I've handled this health bump in a different way than I've handled all the ones I've had before, where I've prioritized saying what I need, whether it's as simple as knowing I needed a certain medication and being a little pushy with my medical team about that, to telling my family and friends, oh, well, this one is hard. And just having them say, yeah, and being with them in that moment is just another way to be with them. It turns out not only is that healing for me, but it's healing for them. What I've realized is that it's not authentic. It's not the truth. It's not loving to tell people that you're okay when you're not okay. even your kids. You can say not, oh my gosh, I'm near death, but I'm a little bit down and this is what I need. Knowing that they might not be able to give it to you. Something that often comes up for people who are empathic during an illness, I've heard it so many times, is that we think, particularly if we're in a relationship, that somehow our person should know what we need. They should have the same ability to know what we need as we know what they need. So they should have this magical, mysterious ability to intuit what we need and then give it to us without us asking. They should know that we need to stay hydrated and automatically bring water. They should know to order more Kleenex. They should know that we can't shower by ourselves. They should know all these things. They should know not to ask us to watch a certain kind of movie if we're feeling upset. And then when they don't read our minds and they don't know and they don't act on things that are unspoken, then we think we have the right to be mad at them, right? And call them names. We use narcissist as the ultimate insult when in fact they're just humans responding to wounds in a different way than us empaths respond to our wounds. And it's totally, completely, utterly unfair and unreasonable to expect for them to be us. We don't want them to be us. We want them to be who they are because that's how we know how to get our needs met. And then when they are who they are and they're not able to intuit our needs, we feel justified in smacking them as part of our health process. Messed up. That's so messed up. And so connecting and communicating means owning the responsibility to say, right now I need these 3 things and I don't think I'm going to need your help for an hour. Or to be able to say, print this out. These are the things the doctor says to look for to see if I'm getting worse and we need some kind of intervention. Or let's do my medication schedule together. I'll check off the boxes, but it would be helpful for me if you looked at it too. If you tell them what you need and how to help you, at least you're giving them a shot. But more importantly, you're owning your own stuff. And that's one of the great lessons of a health challenge, it is a reminder of how to take care of your own needs, your own messages, your own desires, your own journey, your own path. And so this health bump has taught me a lot, and I'm sharing it with you because it's not a bad thing to be sick. It is not a bad thing to be sick. It is uncomfortable. The messages we get from pain are not the messages we want. It is difficult, but it's not bad. As Aaron Doty would say, it's just neutral. Or as John Kabat-Zinn would say, it just is the moment. It is the moment. And the more we quit judging what we're experiencing and trying to make it be something else to someone else, the harder it's going to be in the moment that we're in. Let me know if at this point this is working for you, because I'd like to share with you a 3-part mindset formula, and we are in community together. Community is about conversation. I will share the 3 things I'm learning right now and see what you think and tell me what you think. The first of the 3 tips is breathing. Everyone tells you to breathe, yes? And it is more important to breathe when you're in a difficult moment. This time, with this little health thing I've had, I found that it was a really excellent time to do some breath work. There is a ton of breath work on YouTube and different people that will do breath work meditations with you. If you're really not feeling well, don't make yourself do breath work. Don't do like a 27-minute Kundalini tough challenge. Obviously, if you're pregnant, not to do that. What works for me is 10 minutes of breath work, or in the moment saying, okay, the first thing that I have to do is take a breath. When I'm pushing past where my body wants to go, I tend to want to go faster and faster, faster. The really old analogy, I guess, from my great-grandma's day is when the horse sees the barn, it picks up speed. And so sometimes when I have a health challenge, and maybe what you do when you have a health challenge is want to go faster. If I go faster, I can get through this faster, and I can get to my goal faster, and faster, faster, faster. And it turns out the answer is slower. So just one belly breath. The second part of the 3-step health challenge reframing is to believe. This one is very much on my mind because with this illness, the dark voices, the voices that can take us to the black dog of depression and to the sad place, we're saying, yeah, well, it was just a fantasy. You can't pursue your dreams, blah, 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 blah. That's just not true. What is true is that as you take care of your body, it is a wonderful time to re-up your ability to believe. During this time, I was reading about Jeremy Renner. Do you know Jeremy Renner from the Marvel Metaverse is Hawkeye, and he's been on television as the mayor of Kingston. About a year ago, Christmas, he was with his family, and he thought his grown nephew, was at risk, and he got in front of a 14,000-pound snow removal machine to protect his nephew. 14,000 pounds, and it ran him over. So then he's on the ground, his eyes popped out, he's a mess. During this last year, he's had 30 surgeries. He's been in constant rehab. It's been pain and toughness and grit. And do you know what he talks about? He talks about gratitude. The first thing he did when he was really up and at it was to go back to the hospital where they treated him to say thank you. He has been expressing abundant, mountains full, oceans full, forests full of gratitude to his family and his friends and his fans and his coworkers for helping him through this time. And also, he's been expressing gratitude to the people who inspire him to keep going. So what I take away from a gratitude practice is that a gratitude practice makes it easier to believe in the dream, for me anyway. I first learned about gratitude from Oprah. I used to be a contributing editor a long time ago for Oprah's magazine. And I realized that gratitude is a way to channel the energy so that it doesn't go yucky like things do in my fridge. When you're expressing gratitude, it's love, and love will help move you toward your dream. Love is what's going to give you strength. And so when I was having trouble believing in my dream, and when I was having trouble believing in my dream in part because I felt that I was letting my team down, when I was able to rechannel to gratitude toward my team, when I was able to reinforce my gratitude practice for my team and for their willingness to be there for the dream and for them and for who they are and for their belief in what we can do together, it made the dream not a rock on my shoulders holding me down or something to beat myself up with. It made the dream a balloon. It made the dream a balloon. And so that's maybe going to be a challenge when you don't feel well to believe in the dream. And it's a great challenge because it lets you double down on the dream. The third step of this simple 3-step positive reframing process is beginning. We hear it and it kind of slides off us. We hear that this is a brand new moment. This moment. I only exist in this moment. That means in this moment, you can begin. That means in this moment, you can begin. All the stuff that's dragging behind you, like cans on a car or of somebody getting married, none of that matters. What matters is this moment. Right now, you can begin. And health is not an end. It's just a detour. And now you're maybe on a place in the path you didn't expect. That's okay. Totally fine. Just take a step. Take a step. It's that simple. Is to just take a step. Just start. I know. I have a memory of when I was a little kid and I was on the diving board at the swimming pool and it seemed, so high. And I climbed up there and I went out on the board and there was the pool and there were people all around and I was terrified. I was so afraid. I've always been afraid of cold water, even on a hot day. I didn't want to jump. There was like lots of noise. The loudest noise though was the voice in my head that said, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Don't jump, don't jump. And it was great because the second jump was easier. Take the step. Begin. So there you have it. Lovely souls, new tools, or maybe tools you know that you needed to be reminded of. 3 tips about how to navigate through challenging health times, and 3 tips to reset your spirit and your mind so that you're ready to go on this journey. If you found this useful, it would be great for me if you gave me a thumbs up. Like you, I'm learning to ask, and I am asking for your support, which is so hard, and I am so grateful if you're motivated to offer it. We will continue on this journey together. I am sending you all my best. I'm sending you love, and I'm sending you the strength that we all need together to continue on this journey and to continue the work and to continue to find a way to support each other in building whatever each of us think is a rich life.